Hey everybody, I'm Chris Preimesberger, editor of eWEEK. Thanks for joining us today on eWEEK eSpeaks. Our guest this morning is Jon Toor, who is Chief Marketing Officer at Cloudian. And Jon, good to see you again. It's been a little while.
Good to see you, Chris, under somewhat unusual circumstances, meeting by Zoom over from our respective homes.
This is the trend right now, isn't it?
It is. We're all doing it together.
Yeah. Hopefully it works and people can use the information and record it, save it themselves, whatever. Jon, you've been with Cloudian now for a few years. I've known you through a couple of jobs. And so like 4 years now. Give me the high level on what Cloudian does.
So, Chris, Cloudian is an object storage company, and what that means is that we store unstructured data. And being object storage, we really solve for three things. One is a problem of scale. As your data grows in scale, how do you manage it all? The second is cost. How do you afford to store it all in a way that actually makes sense for that type of data, which is the less frequently accessed data? And then thirdly, we solve for the problem of cloud compatibility. Everyone is integrating their on-prem and cloud infrastructures, and object storage solves the problem of how do you bring those two things together in a way that's easy to manage?
Okay, and what are some good examples of use cases that Cloudian solves, problems that it solves involving cloud storage?
Yeah, so we are on-prem storage, so we're the on-prem component of your. Sometimes people think of it as a private cloud, and it's all unstructured data, but the most common use cases are backups, so using it as a backup target. It's compatible with every backup application on the market today. Another common use case would be media and entertainment, research files, big data files. Anything that gets accumulated in large volumes would be, and is unstructured data, would be fair game for a Cloudian object storage environment.
Yeah, I always thought it was interesting that the company's named Cloudian, but it's really not cloud storage.
Correct. It's on-prem in your data center, but it's cloud compatible, and it's using the cloud language. So it's all built on the S3 API. It's all S3 compatible storage. And that means that every application that's written to interact with cloud storage will also use Cloudian natively, because we were written for that language.
Right. We're right here in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic in April of 2020, and that's partially why we're doing this video. So, Jon, tell me about a use case, a timely use case, perhaps, of Cloudian involving the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, so the timing of this was very interesting because right before this whole pandemic began, we announced a ransomware solution, a solution to protect data from ransomware. And what this is a feature called Object Lock that makes the data, your backup data, immutable. So within the Cloudian system, that data cannot be changed. It cannot be altered by ransomware, so it can't be encrypted. Veeam announced this solution with us because they integrated Object Lock to within their workflow of their new software level, V10.
Right. It's VEEAM for those who don't know the company. Yeah.
Exactly. And what this did was it made the data protected from ransomware within an automated workflow. And this, as I said, this was announced right before the whole pandemic thing began. But the timing was very interesting because now with people working remotely, customers are feeling more exposed. Right? Users are now more commonly operating outside of their workplace, outside of the firewall. A lot of companies do not have VPNs, so customers are operating on the open network. So their sensitivity to their exposure for ransomware is even stronger now than it was before. And if you watch the news, you see that ransomware attacks are just as prevalent now as they were 2 months ago. So
wow.
What this has done is it really increased the intensity of interest in getting this kind of solution on board.
For sure. Okay, that's really something. VPNs are used to be pretty predominant it seems like the use of them has kind of fallen off lately. They can be kind of problematic to use, right?
Yeah, they are, and I think that the other challenge is it takes time, right? You have to, getting a VPN in place and getting everyone using it consistently is something that takes a lot of planning and a lot of forethought, as opposed to you can put in a ransomware solution such as V10 and Cloudian and be protected, on the back end. You don't have to go out and change what the users are doing. You don't have to change the user behavior to get that protection in place. So it's something you can do pretty quickly.
Yeah, tell me about Cloudian's relationship with VMware. It's an important client for you.
Right. So the other thing we're seeing here is, with the COVID-19 pandemic, there's even more interest in moving to cloud than there was before. So we are working with VMware to enable, the 4,500 VMware cloud service providers to have an S3 compatible storage backend within their infrastructure. So now they can offer, a package of goods and the hyperscalers, and best of all, they can do this all through a VMware transaction. They can buy our software through VMware. They can run it on their own servers, so they don't even have to bring in any outside service people to work in their environment, which is a problem right now. They can run this on their own servers and be up and running, offering an S3 compatible storage service in a matter of a few days. Mm-hmm. So what this does is it gives them a way to offer services that are built on S3 storage, such as backup as a service or archiving as a service, big data as a service. So it creates more ways that they can offer value to their customers. And in this environment right now, where people are going to be increasingly focused on cost controls, this is going to be something that's very important, because now they can outsource things that they can't afford to or don't have the space to run in their own data center. They can now outsource those to a service provider that's regional. They can give them the hands-on bespoke services that they need, but do it in a way that is just like you're operating with a hyperscaler. You can run cloud native applications. You can run the S3 compatible storage. You can run things in your own data center and have it be compatible with what's going on in the cloud. I mean, it really creates a lot of opportunities for those VMware service providers.
Yeah. In summary, Jon, how would you describe Cloudian's main business value for an IT manager at a company?
Well, I think in today's context, it's really about cost. People are going to be increasingly focused on budgets now. The economy is going to be going through a turbulent time. And this is exactly when cost becomes, a paramount concern. And we can cut 70% off the cost of traditional unstructured data. And really, we can do that by offering, we run on standard servers, so you can use the hardware you already have or the lowest cost hardware in the marketplace. You can get a single management environment that spans across multiple data centers. And it can be cloud compatible as well. So that single management environment can span from your on-prem into your cloud instances to keep management costs down while ensuring you have seamless scalability. I mean, the reality is, of course, our production of data doesn't change, right? We're going to continue acquiring data from machines, continue to acquire data from users. That's not changing. What is changing is the budget to manage all that data is not going to be going up as quickly. So what we do is provide a way to manage more data at less cost, do it more simply, and house it all within a single namespace.
Great. Jon Toor, CMO of Cloudian. Thank you so much for being with me on eWEEK eSpeaks.
Thank you, Chris. Always great to talk with you.
Okay. Yeah. We go back a long way, so it's good to catch up with you, and it's good to see what Cloudian's doing. They're really providing a great service.
It's an interesting time, Chris. I mean, this is one of those things when there's when everything is status quo, who's got the motivation to do anything differently, right? Why not just buy more of whatever you're already doing? Right. It's when you get some kind of a tectonic shift like this that motivates people to, I better think differently. And we get both on-prem and in the cloud that it's, creating new thinking really quickly.
Yeah. We used to say one big company here in the Valley said, "Think different." I remember that a while ago.
Exactly.
That always attacked me as an editor. I'm thinking,
I
oh
know
my
it
God.
did. I know. Grammatically wrong.
Jon, thanks a lot. And everybody out there who was with us today, have a great rest of your eWeek. Thanks for joining us on eWeek eSpeaks. Go to eWEEK.com to hear more conversations with IT thought leaders.